controllers are controlled. If you think about that, if we want everything to be a certain way, so everything we're doing is making it to be that certain way, our way, which isn't really us, the mind, what we conceive ourselves to be, the programming, the belief system, the drama, the movie, the theatrics, call it whatever you will. So what happens is then we're controlled then by our need to control that. You know, it's like in relationship. I know all the pain and suffering, you know, I put myself through. Even times knowing I was putting myself through it, but I didn't really understand and know at that time how you really stop torturing yourself because someone isn't loving you or liking you or doing what you want in some way, or something in your world isn't just exactly how it has to be, which is a box. And so then we defend that, we promote that, we have to work at that, we have to get other people to agree to that. So look at all that it takes to hold some kind of a reality together. And then when someone or something or an idea or a concept or a realization or something comes that starts to crack that a little bit, a lot of people, they freak or they go, oh no, you know, we have to get something. I mean, if we don't have to, I mean, it's a great idea to know who you are, transcendental to the mind and to your thoughts. If you could change your thoughts, then you're not your thoughts, are you? No, you're thinking. Now, am I thinking, or is thinking going through me? All right, so you have to ask this question. And you start to watch that whole process of thinking and what you're analyzing or what you want or that reality you're trying to manage and make sure it all holds together. And all the energy that takes, what you have to do, how you have to train yourself, what for? You know, when you realize most people, they go and they do a job so they can have a 2-week vacation and then actually really do what they want. And then they usually go wherever they go. It takes two or 3 days to finally relax. When you finally relax, start to be yourself, start having a nice time. Everybody's having, you know, it's just you're in nature somewhere. Now all of a sudden, you know, you're gonna have to go back to the salt mines. You're gonna go back there because, you know, human beings are not, divine beings are not meant to live in an assembly line, to work in a building and fluorescent lights, or chained to a job, or as a slave of some kind. What that's just showing you is that if there are slaves, there are slave owners. And so these slave owners are actually controlled by the slaves, because they have to have the slaves in order to be the slave owners. So they had to be powerful, they have to have the powerless, and if the powerless are powerful, they believe they will have less. This is a duality belief system that is been propagated everywhere, and what happens is in the mind, people accept that and then they believe that, and those reality boxes that we're all trying to hold together are controlling us and limiting us and putting us in these boxes of lack and limitation and fear and doubt and conflict. It's like, you know, how do you eliminate inner conflict? Well, where's the conflict coming from? Where is it? It's in your mind. It's in your, you know, I notice like getting over to the computer, and it's just like what you're doing now. It's like, this isn't me you're perceiving. I'm, you know, in that sense, an image of something, but that's a virtual reality world in a virtual reality world of a virtual reality world. So how do you get to what's true and what's real is to realize the controllers are the controlled. They're limited. So when you have people around you that are, or something going on with intense controllers, they have the greatest fear because they have no sense of the divine that is good for all. And so what is taught in economics? Scarce supply. Not supply and demand, or demand and supply. What do people need or want? But to then make through advertising or whatever stuff that nobody really needs, that they have to work and slave for, so they can have slave drivers. But who is it? Your own mind is your slave driver. See? So just when you notice, see, when I had to control a relationship because I thought that relationship had to do with how happy I am, or what other people think of me, or my expectations of how I'll have a happy future, where I was not in myself, so I was miserable. And then worried, and you're going to lose it. And so when anybody's doing that in your mind, you're believing that. Yeah. So you go, oh. So if you don't want to be controlled, stop controlling. Transcend control and controller and see that they're two sides of the same coin. You're not slave or slave master. You're not powerful or powerless. These are words, meanings, movie scripts, you see. Let go, and then when we trust the divine, we don't need to control. It's, in a sense, all done for us, but it has to come through us. If we block it, we have free will. So do you choose absolute goodness that has no opposite, an eternal life of who you are and all that you are in every moment, and for all others, animal, human-bodied, divine beings, sentient beings, for all? Or are you choosing evil that has no opposite because it's a fabrication, it is a symptom of, you would say, the consciousness of fear. Fear. And the mind, then, of fear is not you, nor is it your mind. And you have to have the courage to do this, you see. And as you observe it, trust, you know how you do, just trusting your own inner guide, and in every moment, are you choosing life or death? Death in what we call evil. And interesting, the word death has eat in it. See? Consume. Go beyond consumer and consumed. Be in the transcendental. That's who you are. Stay centered.